Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to MLG Shakura's Plateau, where we're going to be seeing a battle of the Titans. In the top right spawn location, we're going to be seeing LiquidHerO. LiquidHerO, of course, gaining a lot of attention in the last month or so, winning DreamHack Winter, coming second in the NISL Grand Finals. Both times he was playing against Puma, so that's sort of a rivalry starting up between that. But it's not going to be Puma. He's going to be against a different Korean Terran player, QIMMVP, in the top left spawn location, the Red Terran, widely regarded to be one of the best, if not the best Terran player in the world. This is going to be, hopefully, going to spawn an awesome game between these two players. This is a replay from MLG Providence, and it is the championship losers bracket. So, both of these players know you go into a tournament like an MLG and you know you have a second chance. If you lose, you go to the losers bracket. But this is the losers bracket. This is their second chance. They have to win this game or their MLG tournament is done. Now, this did happen a while ago, so I'm sure a lot of you already know the result of this game. But nonetheless, I did not actually see this game. So this is the first time I am seeing this game. Not sure who won this one. I do know, however, from the brackets that right before this game happened, QIMMVP was able to 2-0 Marine King Prime, while Hero was 2-0'd by Huck. So, MVP, while he's been in the losers bracket for a little longer, he carries the momentum of just having a win, whereas Hero's been a bit set back by that loss. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects the game. This is Shakura's Plateau, so I would not be surprised to see a macro game. MVP's not going for a gas, though, so we could be seeing... It's pretty standard for a Protoss to take a fast expansion, which looks like that's what Hero's going to be doing right now. So MVP could look to use that to his advantage by going for some sort of 2 racks, 3 racks opening, which of course you need no gas for, so that would point towards that. Either that, or we may be seeing also a fast expansion out of him. We could be seeing either, I would say, either most likely a 2 racks bunker pressure or a 1 racks fast expand. The racks is of course finishing up right now. He will see this early expansion, so that may mean he wants to go for the 2 racks, wants to maybe put some pressure on, knows that the defenses are really non-existent over in Hero's base. His money is getting pretty high though, so we could be seeing him come down here to put an expansion down there anytime in the next few seconds. Ooh, these SCVs are actually moving across the map, and there's a Marine moving out there as well. He could be going for some pressure, will be throwing down an expansion, so he's just going to be doing sort of a mixture of the two. Ooh. Letting a probe into his base, that's a bit sloppy by MVP. But Hero's, instead of scouting around, going to opt to leave. We'll see a Marine leaving. The Marine's going to be going there. Going to be placing down 2 bunkers there. 1 SCV, not going to quite get it. The probes are blocking the bunkers very, very well. 1 Marine is going to come in here, try to get as many kills as possible. Very good probe micro, keeping the probes alive. A second Marine comes in, gets 1 probe kill. Ooh, the wounded probe is close. 1 probe, another probe, 3 probes down. We'll get 3 probe kills. The Zealot will come out now, getting another probe. 5 probe kills in total. Very well worth that attack from QIMMVP. We'll be pulling out when that Zealot spawns, though, because you can't really kite a Zealot with 1 Marine. They have even movement speed. So, yeah, this expansion is going to be finishing up. He's also going to be putting up a 3rd command center in his base, and this isn't most likely going to be for a fast 3rd expansion. This is probably just going to be for a macro orbital, which a lot of players will do nowadays. They'll try to get their macro further ahead by getting that macro orbital to have those extra mules, because, of course, mules are incredibly good. And we'll be able to repel that 1 scouting Zealot. He's getting this bunker up at the front, so he should be pretty safe from any attacks coming up soon. This is going to morph into an orbital and then probably land down here. I don't see any sense in him putting it anywhere else. He's going to be chronoing out Warp Gate for LiquidHerO. LiquidHerO is a little bit behind. Actually, no, he's not. He's pretty far ahead. I lied. Let's take a look at the worker supply. Hero's actually ahead. Despite losing those 5 workers, his Nexus has been up longer, and of course he's able to chrono boost those workers out. So he does, in fact, have a pretty significant worker lead at this point. Of course, though, when MVP's 3rd command center goes up, he will be able to produce them 3 at a time. Going to put down a couple more barracks as well. Going to look to strengthen his defenses a little bit. It would look like there was a bit of a push, well, not a push, but a bit of a poke from these units down here. Going to keep that Scoffer down there to see anything moving out, any sort of sneaky things that MVP tries to do. He has an SCV moving up here. I'm not quite sure what this is for. It'll be interesting to see what he does with this. Might be to use it for scouting, but he's just sort of walking around. Yeah, he will be using it for a scout. And we're not seeing much out of Hero yet. He's going to be going for 2 more gateways. Both of them just focusing pretty much on getting their worker counts up, getting their macro up. Hero does have a pretty good supply lead at this point. That worker lead early on means that he's obviously having more minerals to be able to produce more workers. So now it'll be MVP who's going to look to even that out as soon as possible. SCV just got killed by those 2 sentries and their tickle noodles. Hero is actually getting pretty high on chrono energy. I'm wondering what he's going to be doing with that. Getting those 3 into warp gates. Warp gate Tef has just finished. Going to be getting a Twilight Council. Ooh. We could be seeing DTs. He's getting a 4th gas as well. We could be seeing DTs, or we could see him go for... He's getting sentries, though. I don't see why he would go for charge or blink this early when he has a primarily sentry-based army. There's the Dark Shrine. Hero will be going for a Dark Shrine and 2 more gateways. We're going to be seeing Dark Templar, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Dark Templar are very good units. Terran, of course, do have the advantage of being able to scan to reveal them, so they're not quite as useful against Terran as they are against Zerg or Protoss. And especially with this 3rd orbital command center up, he has that much more potential to be able to scan. But if he can catch him off guard when there's not enough energy to scan, he could get a fair amount of kills here. He does have this engineering bay up, but he doesn't have any missile turrets yet. And of course, one of the things you can do if your opponent doesn't have missile turrets up, all they have is the scans. So if you keep your DTs separated, like say 1 DT up here, 1 DT down there, he has to use multiple scans, and those are scans that could be mules. So either way, the DTs end up paying for themselves pretty well. Now, this 3rd command center has allowed MVP to catch up in the worker supply. I lied, he hasn't caught up at all, but he has caught up in the supply, just a little bit. Going to be getting a couple more barracks. Going to be going very, very bio-heavy. Going to be getting the starport out. A reactor on that factory. He won't be going for any sort of Hellions. He will definitely be switching that off. Getting the reactor on the starport to get medevacs 2 at a time to heal up that bio ball. Bio ball, of course, MMM, Marine Marauder medevac. Very strong against... Ooh, nice Marine placement. Knows exactly that Hero wanted to expand. Gets a free probe as well. Anyway, as I was saying, Marine Marauder medevac very potent against Protoss. Not switching that off just yet. There we go. But it's very good because, of course, Stim is incredibly effective. Marauders are incredibly effective against gateway units. Marines are just very good all-around units, very high DPS. And then when they get healed up by those medevacs, Stim essentially costs no health. So it's pretty good. Going to be getting an armory. Going to be going for... I'm not sure what that armory will be for. Ah, yes, of course. Oh, the DTs are here. There's 1 DT in the mineral line over there. Another DT is down here. Where's the 3rd one? There it is. Taking out a supply depot. Not the biggest of deals, but he's going to be getting quite a few SCV kills. Of course, DTs do one-shot SCVs. And he's getting quite a few kills. This Dark Templar already has 5 kills. There was one down here. Looks like it got killed off by the missile turret being able to see it. This DT is not going to be able to move in. There is a missile turret there keeping him away. This DT is going to try to deal some damage to the engineering bay. Gets scanned, gets that kill, but there's still this DT here. Who, how many kills does this guy have? He has 5 kills as well. He's getting close to the missile turret. Does pull away. Is able to get away. And he's just going to be there. I mean, it'll be a while until MVP is able to see him. But it's another scan that he has to take to kill that DT. Unless he can somehow lure it into the missile turret. He is on hold position, though, so he will not be lured in there. No way, Jose. 3rd base going up for LiquidHerO. And there's quite a few Zealots here. He does have Zealot charge. This Immortal is very nice to tank damage, especially from the Marines. While the Marines have very good DPS, the Hardened Shield makes these Immortals take practically no damage from Marines. So, Scouting Factory, very efficient way of scouting. Takes practically no damage, able to see absolutely everything, even if it does move slowly. Templar Archives is now up, so he might be putting in some some High Templar. High Templar Storms are incredibly effective if well placed against a Bio Ball. So if we see some nice Storms, that could really be good for him. We're going to be seeing a Marauder drop in the main of Hero. MVP sees that there's a bit of the units are there. Going to be getting that pylon on the low ground, of course. That stops the Zealots from being able to hit him. 1 pylon. Not the greatest not the biggest of deals, but better than nothing, and gets a free pylon. So, gonna be landing those Marauders. I think I'll probably just be running home with them. That Stalker will see them. Ooh, looks like Hero does see them with that Stalker on the Zelnaga Tower. Will try to catch them off guard. Nice force fields. Going to be able to kill those. No! Picks them up in the medevac. Very nice control by Hero. He may lose 3 of them, but that is 5 less than he would have lost. Ooh, getting the main army in here. Going to be stimming. And Hero does not have enough. He will be pulling back. Gets the force fields. Cutting the army in half. And will try to run. The concussive shells, of course, allowing him to kill those sentries with ease. Gets those sentries. Sentries are a lot of gas. So that is a lot of gas that MVP just killed. Not bad by him. Looking at the units lost, MVP is pretty far ahead in that respect. Looked like there was a bit of a Dark Templar drop down there. That scan, yes, there was the DT's body was killed, forcing yet another scan. Now, Dark Templar are very expensive units, but they also, of course, when they force those scans, they end up paying for themselves pretty well. Looks like MVP is gearing up to do some sort of a push here. Not sure this will kill Hero. Hero has a very good army here, but of course, if he can, those are zealots. Oh! Huge storm by QIMMVP. Look at the health bars there in the orange, in the yellow. The ghosts are in here as well. If he can get up a couple of good MVPs, a couple of good EMPs, get some relatively good ones, sort of paying back for the storm, but they weren't as good as they could have been. And he's going to engage the Zealots in the choke. The Zealots do not want to engage in the choke. They cannot get the surface area they need, and they die as if they were ants under a magnifying glass. There's almost nothing left here. Hero could well lose the game right here. Those units are getting very, very low on health. Another very nice storm, killing a lot of those units. Warping in another Archon down there. Those storms have really saved Hero. If he holds on, it is only because of those storms, but he is so far behind at this point. If he can snipe this expansion... Oh, he's going to be pulling the probes. You never want to be pulling probes. He's going to lose a lot of workers. So many workers going down here. And MVP's units, they may be low on health, but they're paying for themselves so well. They're still alive. And he finally kills them off. Hero finally holds, but not after taking devastating losses. Almost over 3,500 resources behind in units lost. Wow. And of course, QIMMVP already has remassed his force. He's going to be moving in. Will he be able to take off a third? The Ghost does die. Pretty nice feedback from the High Templar. He will be able to pick this off with relative ease. Getting a lot of probe kills once again. And he will be able to take out that Nexus before those Zealots get there. And even if he doesn't, those are not enough to hold this expansion. And yeah, it goes down. There's not enough energy on that High Templar for a storm, so he'll be able to just sort of kill all of these things really easily. Will pick up and go, though. That whole army is out of position. If he can drop the second base right now, that would be huge. But these medevacs are, of course, very low on health. So one good focus fire from Hero, he could lose a lot of units. So he's just going to sit there. He's going to max up another, not max, but mass another army up here. He has a 60 supply lead. That is incredible. Let's take a look at the worker supply. He's finally rectified that worker supply. He now has a commanding lead, 63 to 35. The only way I can see Hero winning this game now is if MVP somehow gets into some horrifically bad engagement where he just loses everything and Hero loses nothing. Like if he goes for some sort of death drop with all of his medevacs and then the medevacs get taken out before they even get there. Ooh, a nice bit of storm harass. Will pick up and run, but one of the High Templars is left behind. And, ooh, looks like one of those was sniped. That's a big loss there, but these are still alive, and they're going to be taking up a little bit of Hero's concentration. Huh. The factory's still there, sees everything going on, sees all the units moving around. Looks like he'll be trying to take that down again. Archons do very good damage against anything, buildings included. 43 damage against Bio, though, and of course it does have Splash, so Archons are very, very good against Bio forces. He has split them up so as to take less damage. Will stem the first group forward, trying to pick off that Archon. Will not be able to storm forcing them back, but not getting the hits he would have wanted. Third base is about to go back up. Looks like there's going to be another drop in the natural, though. Another drop in the natural. Very, very nice. Hero losing a lot again, warping in a couple zealots, but that's not going to be enough there. And his army is also being engaged in the middle. The storm's not doing what he needs. GG! Hero GG's. MVP takes this game. And we'll be jumping right into Game 2. I have been Penguin, and thank you for tuning in.